Adds a few units to what's been a good month for you on Hutchie's Honkers.
Well, it can be a tough month, the opening month, because a lot of horses are returning as well. So glad that the best bets has got off and kicked off well, and overall strategy marginally up. But make sure you get on board if you haven't already. I think October, November will be even better.
HutchiesHonkers.com, as simple as that. We've got a huge show coming up. Our star power guest is Alexi Bardell. That's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to all of our usual features. Hutchie will have a look at top raiders, horses to follow into the future. Shane will give some votes for the Idol as well. And we will find some winners on Sunday. And that's where we start. Let's find some winners on Sunday at Sha Tin. Also worth noting, Triple Trio Tour to December to the international meeting sold out, but we're giving the prize later on in the show.
Oh, yes.
That's going to be coming up. Race number 7, who do you like?
Yeah, it's the Community Trophy, the Federation of HK Guangdong, and I think that the one to beat quite clearly will be Fast Network. It's a good race. He's tackling stronger company, but 2 from 2. I've got him marked 260 or thereabouts in my early rated price. Cheval Valiant, he actually beat first up. Then you've got sort of tried and true performers in Flying High, Celestial Colours. They've had a run back. They've got the form around Magic Control. I really like this win from Fast Network. Shane first up. He carried 135 pounds, so top weight. He reeled in Cheval Valiant, who went out and then won. Of course, there's a bit of a swing in the weights, 5.5 kilos from this meeting, but I think Fast Network just has that little bit of, upside.
Yeah, 12 pounds. So it's quite a bit, but you've got to remember, here's Flying High. He always goes well up the straight. He ran well up there last time also, and he's never far away, and he's going to get a good run in behind from gate 10. Yep. But Fast Network, he looks a nice horse. I know he's meeting the other horse 12 pounds worse, but what you got to remember is Cheval,
Valiant.
What's it called? Valiant, yeah. I think he's had 10 runs in Class 3 and he's placed 4 times. So he's never actually won in Class 3, but he's only got the 108 pounds, hasn't he, Clint?
Yeah, he's got next to nothing on his back. And, Brittany Wong, she's drawn inside. She's going to have to do a little bit of work to come across, but he's a one-trick pony. Jumps, he runs. It's whether or not he can establish that break mid-race. And as we saw there with Zach, with top weight, he chased a pretty good tempo. He's got 5 kilos less to carry. I think that's more important. So, we talk about relative weights a lot. And it's significant, it always is, but less so, I think, in this sort of instance. I mean, if you're going on pure weights and measures, you go, well, Cheval Valiant should be winning, but I think in this case, he drops in weight, he'll be more competitive, and he's an improving horse. So, yeah, my selections, I've got Cheval Valiant, in second over Fast Network. I thought it'd be pretty tough to beat.
We move to race number 9, so we go from 1,000 metres to 1,200 metres. We're in a Class 3. Who do you like?
Yeah, I like Devane. I like him a horse. I don't think I'd take any or too much shorter than my early rated price. So I may tighten him a little bit, but I've got him at $3.50. Hong Kong Hold trialled amazingly well for me. Once again, Brittany Wong on a potential leader. I think Mighty Stride also jumped out pretty well, and it's got a little gear change. And Ladies' Choice, another one that's trialled rather nicely. So, look, this is what we saw from Devano last year, Shane. He was a very consistent horse and kept going on with the job.
Well, he only had the 4 runs and won 2 and had 2 placings, so he was very consistent. He's had a couple of trials in this time over 1,200, and both trials are all right. This is not a strong race. Here's Ladies' Choice. Now, he had a problem back in June and had knee surgery, but the trial was good. The time was slow. He's very consistent and never goes bad. And I think those two stand out here. I've got Devano from Ladies' Choice on top.
Yeah, that horse that finished second in the white colours in that trial, winning gold, won the last race on Tuesday. So there's a little bit of form out of there. That was the only query I had with Ladies' Choice, just the one trial leading in. And that was a little bit of a query for me. I think Hong Kong Hall went extremely well. Get on the Hong Kong Jockey Club website, have a look at it. Drawn gate 12. Shane mentioned about leaders and wide gates. This might be one that they do come for. And he just scooted along. Now, he does like the all-weather track, but he can run all right on the grass as well. And I think with Brittany's Claim, he looks very interesting indeed. So he's going to be a nice horse. Devano also went well in his trial. He'll sit back. He'll try and round them up. So don't know if there's too many. I know Shane's sort of Devano Ladies' Choice. I agree they're both in the mix, but I think you've got to have Hong Kong Hall and the toppy in there somewhere.
Okay, then we get to race number 10. So we finish the meeting on the all-weather here, and we go out to the 1650. Who do you like?
Gee, this is the hardest race of the day, Shane. I thought this was very
Definitely.
tough indeed. But my numbers are Chilby, Adderfield, Capital Delight, and Red Hair King. I think you could probably have another 4 and still potentially miss the winner. But Chilby does come through a key form reference. This was a trial from Adderfield. Incidentally, just note, I'm pretty sure that's Hong Kong Hall winning this trial as well. This is that
It is.
in the
Yeah.
previous race. So Adderfield, we know on the dirt. He'll run his usual race. But Shane, what did you make of the last? I thought it was particularly difficult. I'll talk about
I think
Chilby.
I think it's very, very open. Here's a race the other day where Chilchubi wasn't suited because it was an on-pace track and all night you had to be up there. And he got back and he kept coming. He was favourite for the race. He hasn't raced on the dirt, Clint, but he's going to run a race. The thing about this race is there's a lot of pace in the race, and I would think they're going to go along with horses like Telecom Fighters with the girl on. All for St. Paul's, they both go. I'm just looking at it now. So there's a few in there. I've actually got, you won't believe this, the 13 on top, Turum Mascot. His run on the dirt was very good. He's 4 pounds out of the ratings, so I'm going against that. But he's had a few trials this season and they've been all good, and he's going to get back. He's got 115, and I think it's a very, very open race. So I had him on top from Full, the 5, and Chilchubi. I'm looking for horses that are going to get back and get home.
Yeah, and it's not a complete disadvantage what we've seen on the dirt in the day meetings. I think you can run on. I think the way the track plays, and with Chilby, like Shane just mentioned, track pattern against. They went very hard in that race, but it was difficult to make up ground. Now, if you're worried about the dirt track with Chilby, I'd be taking a chance that he handles it.
Yeah.
Some of his trials over the shorter distances have been absolutely incredible. He's by rote. He's got a New Zealand pedigree. There's not a massive lead there with other runners in Hong Kong in terms of how they've gone on it, but I'd be backing him in to do it. But like I said, it's a pretty tough race. You're going to want north of $5 or $6, I think, to back anything in it. It's that kind of race.
And
the thing you haven't mentioned also, Clint, is he's got a jockey change. Ewitson goes on.
Yeah.
I know he rode him, I think, his first start when he won, but the kid's been riding him ever since. So that's a big thing, a jockey change like that.
And Zach Burton riding at 118 there, so he's obviously in really good shape.
It's a really interesting lead, actually, isn't it? For Zach usually doesn't get down for those weights unless they can win. There may be a slight exception for 2 reasons here. Pierre Rung's leading stubby, want to keep him happy. That's one thing. Secondly, as well, this is a horse that, Shane, I reckon they might be going towards a Vase, a Hong Kong international Vase, and maybe they want to get the runs on the board now and get him fit. That's not to say he can't win. He won in the Polytrack in the UK over a mile. So they might be thinking there's some hope here.
Car Ying generation.
I would be saying it's the second thing, that he's looking for the future in the Group 1 races, staying races, because we know that Hong Kong horses are pretty weak. They're not that strong once they get to 2,400 metres. And a horse like this, if he goes to the next notch this season, he's in those races, Clint.
Yeah, let's not forget he ran 3rd in the Derby as well. Nearly pinched it with
That's
Andrea
right.
Azzanio. He's a very interesting horse this season.
Yeah, 118 for those in Australia. That's about 53.5 kilos. So that's light enough
getting down for Zach.
For Zach, who, of course, leads the premiership. 15 wins over Huey Bowman, who has 10 wins. Interesting early part of the program. Zach's only got a couple of rides. The first half of the program, Huey, of course, has plenty of rides throughout. So that's a quick look, a snapshot of 3 races, our best bets at the end of the program. Now let's join our star power guest, Alexi Badel.